Live from the locker room.
Following the game. Second one. Is it sure it's just a one? It is. I'm going to go for something here. He's wide. Hit it!
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the special edition of the Redskins Report. It's the post-game show, and we should tell you right from the outset that we are not able, as you know, by NFL rules, to be able to show you a second game whenever we carry the Redskins at home. The Redskins now 7-0. That's the best in the NFL. The Saints also won today, but they're 6-0, so the Saints are now 6-0. They beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Redskins at 7-0. They win 42-7 against the Cleveland Brown team that in the first half of this game was most entertaining. In the second half, a young man by the name of Ricky Ervins really arrived, and Joe Gibbs has said over and over, if Ricky Ervins once explodes on the scene, we're going to have a heck of a time keeping him out of the lineup. Well, now between Gerald Riggs and, of course, Ernest Biner and the addition of Ricky Ervins, the Redskins have as good a ground game as any team in the NFL. And Joe Gibbs, your team definitely, as Charlie Jones says, has the look of a Super Bowl contender. Let's go out to RFK Stadium. Some of the things that occurred early on in this game that made it such a fine ball game. First of all, in the first quarter, Mark Rypien, who had a strong game at quarterback, hits Art Monk. This would be catch number 750. It would tie him with Charlie joining. You say, well, it's a nice play, but boy, we sure hope something good happens. Well, 4 plays later, something big would happen. As the applause continued, it was still going. Just 4 plays later, Mark Rypien would go to Art Monk on a pattern over to the left corner. Monk with an all-out dive, a spectacular reception, 14 yards for the touchdown. Art Monk moves into second place on the all-time reception list. He passes Charlie Joyner. The Redskins with a lead. The Browns would come right back. Bernie Kosar to Eric Metcalf. Eric Metcalf over the middle, hauls it in for a 44-yard pass play. It was the longest play from scrimmage thus far this year for the former #1 draft choice of the Cleveland Browns. Move a little bit later. Here's the play that burned the Redskins, was the only touchdown of the game. 4th and 3 at the 11. In the circle is Webster Slaughter. Now he looks like he's running off the field, but he stops and then lines up. That makes him an eligible receiver out wide to the right, Brian Harmon. A perfect pass to a wide-open Webster Slaughter. It tied the game at 7-7. That would be the one that would have the Redskins coaching staff upset, but in fact, it was a well-executed play. On the ensuing kickoff, the Browns go for an onside kick. They recover the onside kick, catching the Redskins off guard. Talk about a big play. The Browns are hit with a penalty. They were offsides. Thus, the Redskins would get an opportunity. The Browns would have to kick all over again. Second quarter, it's 3rd and 7 at the 16. Mark Rypien to Art Monk. Now, was Art Monk in the end zone? Was this a touchdown? It appeared that both feet were in, but they said that the ball did not break the plane of the goal line. The Skins convert 5 of 6 third downs in the opening series of this game. Then the next play, Gerald Riggs will take it in from the 1-yard line behind some great blocking up front. Riggs with a 14-7 lead. This is a game that Gerald Riggs, despite scoring a couple of touchdowns, would probably want to forget. On the very next possession, folks, when we talk about great catches, you don't get better than this. Mark Rypien to Art Monk. Monk, 46 yards with Frank Minifield all over his back. Art Monk, a spectacular game, 7 receptions, 106 yards, and a touchdown. On the next play, it's Ernest Biner. He'll come to the bottom of the screen. Biner behind good blocking up front. He comes left. He works his way into the end zone. He barely makes it inside the pylon. 21 yards for the touchdown. It was 21-7. The route was on. The Redskins were in complete control. But late in the half, talk about a key turnaround play. Bernie Kosar, a pass to Eric Metcalf. Metcalf is headed for the end zone. He'll fumble the ball at the goal line. It was ruled out of bounds to the end zone, so the Redskins get it as a touchback. It would come back out to the 20-yard line. Despite the argument that was forthcoming from the Browns, it was ruled a touchback. The Browns, of course, contend that it was not. When we come back with a special edition of the Redskins Report, we'll pick up the second half and the Ricky Ervins show as he explodes on the scene at RFK.
Tonight's Redskin Locker Room Report is sponsored by your neighborhood McDonald's family restaurants and by the Washington Times, the best full-color Redskins coverage in town.
To those people still reading the Post, I'd ask, still watching black and white TV?
Call 202-636-3333 for home delivery of the Washington Times.
Hey, chicken lovers, Mickey D's is doing wings. Chicken wings so crispy, so tasty, so meaty, McDonald's calls them Mighty Wings. Serious chicken wings for serious chicken lovers.
Wow.
Have them as they come or with McDonald's own special spicy sauce.
All right.
They make a mighty meal, and they're mighty economical, too. But you better hustle to Mickey D's now, because Mighty Wings will be going mighty fast. Mighty Wings, there's more chicken waiting in our wings.
There is a new gasoline that is clearly advanced. A new gasoline that will give you the highest level of engine cleaning for high performance. A new gasoline formulated for lower pollution and cleaner air. Who has this new gasoline? You know who. New Phase 4 gasoline from Exxon for high performance and cleaner air.
First, AT&T Pro Watts gave you savings on calls to 177 countries. Now we're giving you even more. An extra 10% off on direct dial calls to the country that means the most to your business. You can pick anyone. Introducing our favorite nation option. It's designed for the world, however your business sees it. Call now to sign up.
Where do two 500-pound disc jockeys work? Anywhere they want.
Don and Mike, afternoons, and Howard Stern mornings on WJFK.
Welcome back to this locker room edition of the Redskins Report. Checking the NFL scoreboard. The Cincinnati Bengals got beaten again. The Cowboys do them in 35-23. The Buffalo Bills, who were beaten on Monday night by the Kansas City Chiefs, it's now 42-6. That's a final. The Vikings knock off the Cardinals 34-7, and the Saints go to 6-0 as they defeat the Eagles 13-6. I started to say they shut them out. Once again, the Eagles' offense unable to score a touchdown. 2 field goals is all the Eagles could get. Their defense played as well as they could play, but Philadelphia once again without any kind of quarterback attack at all. As far as the Redskins, as you know, they win this game and they win it big. 42-7 is the final score. The second half of the game, there were some interesting plays, but most of the focus has to go to Ricky Ervins. Let's go back to RFK Stadium. In the second half of the game, the Redskins in the third quarter are leading 21-0. Gerald Riggs would go straight ahead. He loses the football as Clay Matthews would knock it loose. It's picked up by 22, Vince Newsom. Newsom with an escort around him. They roll over Mark Rypien in for the touchdown, 33 yards, and all of a sudden you said, hey, are the Redskins going to blow this thing? It was 22-17, but on the next kickoff, the start of the Ricky Ervins show, Ricky Ervins will take this football all the way back at his own 7-yard line. He comes exploding up the right side. Ricky Ervins with a 47-yard return all the way to the Cleveland Browns 45. Now, with Ernest Biner with an injured right hand and Riggs having fumbled, Joe Gibbs said, all right, Ricky, let's just see what you can do. Well, Ricky Ervins picks up 11 yards on this play off the right side. Every time Ricky Ervins would touch the football, it seemed that he was picking up yardage. In fact, he had 13 rushes for 133 yards. Ricky Ervins will now come to the bottom of your screen, around the left side from the 12-yard line. Ervins explodes into the end zone, 12-yard touchdown. The Redskins take a 28-17 lead after 3. Now we're in the fourth quarter, 3rd and goal at the 1. Gerald Riggs would get his second touchdown of the day behind the good blocking up front. Among those who were in there was Terry Orr, T.O. on the block. His second 1-yard touchdown of the game. The Redskins took a 35-17 lead. Now it's 3rd and 6 at the 35. Ricky Ervins, this is a 65-yard touchdown run. He gets a block from Ron Middleton. Now Ricky Ervins in a foot race up the right sideline. No one will get the youngster from USC. The 3rd-round draft choice goes 65 yards for the touchdown. He rushes 13 times, 133 yards, 2 touchdowns, and look at that. Joe Gibbs shaking his head, saying, well, I always told you that if this guy ever got in a game, we were going to have ourselves some kind of an explosion. Well, Ricky Ervins into the game. Joe Gibbs sees just what his rookie can do. Ricky Ervins, one of the stars of the game, 133 yards rushing. Art Monk certainly has to be one of our candidates, and we'll make Art Monk our Miller Lite Player of the Game. Art Monk with 7 catches, 106 yards, and as well as a touchdown. It was just interesting to see that Art Monk surpasses Charlie Joyner, and we had talked to Art about, is he shy, is he afraid to take all these records, and how does he look at his own accomplishments? Here's Art Monk on surpassing Charlie Joyner.
I didn't do this, or I didn't get here by myself. You know, it took a bunch of other guys to help me obtain this, as well as a supporting coaching staff, a supporting organization, and most of all, probably, you know, a supportive wife and family who's been there for me over the years. It hasn't always been cake and ice cream. There's been some hard, tough times in there. And most importantly is probably my relationship with Christ. And that's where I draw all my strength and my guidance and everything from. So that's probably that is the most important thing in my life.
Art Monk, who surpasses Charlie Joyner today. He does it in dramatic fashion. A 14-yard touchdown pass. The Redskins go on to roll over the Cleveland Browns 42-17. We'll go to the locker room when we come back with this locker room edition of the Redskins Report.
Who says calling overseas has to be expensive? Sprint's got a new way to call that can save you over 25 francs on a typical call to France, hundreds of yen on a call to Japan, and thousands of won on a call to Korea. It's called Sprint World. The way things are today, you need all the won you can get.
Where do your pick 4 numbers come from?
They come to me in my dreams. Sometimes a bear brings them, sometimes a duck.
Cherie knows the numbers, but she won't tell me.
They just come to me. Thanks.
15.6, 15.7, 15.8, 15.9, 15.30.
I get mine from the stars.
4 numbers. They're out there, and you can play them in any order or exact order. Top prize, $5,000.
I mean, what was I supposed to say? Can I test drive the red one?
If you've never talked to a Mercedes dealer, you've probably got a lot of questions.
And anyway, I didn't have time to get over there.
So I said, I'll bring it over, the red 190, right to your office.
Yeah, well...
But the question that's the hardest to ask,
I mean...
it's often the easiest to answer.
Should I afford it?
Bottom line, the new 190 is $29,850.
That's it? This red one?
Yep. And answering your questions, that's free.
Monday at 5:20 with Barbara Harrison.
Who really discovered America? Some say it wasn't Columbus. The Queen of Norway tells her side of the story.
And at 5:50 with Lee Thompson.
They clean your house, but do they trash the environment, and what could they do to you? The real price you pay with some cleaning products.
For the times when news can really make a difference. Barbara Harrison at 5:20 and Lee Thompson at 5:50. Monday.
Welcome back to this special edition of the Redskins Report, the locker room edition. We should remind you that by NFL rules, we're not able to show you the second game of the doubleheader. We'll keep you posted throughout the day. And then, of course, on the Sports Machine tonight, we'll have all the highlights from around the NFL. Also on the Sports Machine tonight, Jimmy Connors talks about Joe Montana. Montana was supposed to be our guest. They are working together on a project, and Jimmy Connors gives some advice to Joe Montana. We'll have all the highlights from around the NFL. As far as on the scoreboard today, the Bengals are beaten by the Cowboys 35-23. The Bills over the Colts 42-6. So the Bills, who lost Monday to the Chiefs, they rebound. They're now 6-1. The New Orleans Saints remain perfect. They're 13-6 as the Philadelphia Eagles offense fails to score a touchdown. And the only other final from the early games, the New Orleans Saints 13-6. The Vikings roll over the Cardinals 34-7. The stars of the game have to include, of course, Art Monk, who, as you know, surpasses Charlie Joyner with catch number 750, then 751. 14-yard touchdown, one of the best plays of the game. But when we talk about stars of this game, and certainly Art Monk has to be the focal point, you cannot overlook what happened in the second half of this game. Young man from USC, who when the Redskins drafted him, many people say, Coach, why'd you go for another running back? You've got Ernest Biner, you've got John Settle, you've got Gerald Riggs. Well, today, Joe Gibbs looks like a genius because, sure enough, a third-round draft choice from USC, who have been questioned really as far as how durable he was because he had certain ankle injuries, he comes back and responds strong. He has a total of 13 carries for 133 yards. Now, Ricky Ervins had himself a spectacular game. He'll be joining us on this report, as will Mark Rypien, as well as Coach Joe Gibbs. We'll be back with those interviews when we return to the locker room in just a second on this special edition of the Redskins Report.
To those people still reading the Post, I'd ask, still watching black and white TV?
Call 202-636-3333 for home delivery of the Washington Times.
Hey, chicken lovers, Mickey D's is doing wings. Chicken wings so crispy, so tasty, so meaty, McDonald's calls them mighty wings. Serious chicken wings for serious chicken lovers.
Wow.
Have them as they come or with McDonald's own special spicy sauce. All right. They make a mighty meal, and they're mighty economical, too. But you better hustle to Mickey D's now, because Mighty Wings will be going mighty fast. Mighty Wings, there's more chicken waiting in our wings.
First, AT&T Pro Watts gave you savings on calls to 177 countries. Now we're giving you even more. An extra 10% off on direct dial calls to the country that means the most to your business. You can pick anyone. Introducing our favorite nation option. It's designed for the world, however your business sees it. Call now to sign up.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me.
When you do a lot of business with the bank, don't you deserve more than a feeble thank you?
Thank you very much.
With a total of $10,000 in qualifying deposits or loans at Sovereign, you'll get free checking with buyer's coverage, 2 no-fee credit cards, and more. And would you rather have all that or just our undying gratitude?
Thank you very, very, very much.
A reminder, you have to register to vote. The deadline for registration for the primaries in both Maryland and the District of Columbia is August 13th.
Welcome back to the special edition of the Redskins Report, coming to you the locker room today. Let's go into the locker room where one of the stars of the game is standing by, Ricky Ervins, a third-round draft choice from USC. And Ricky, I guess you feel like you've been waiting a long time to be able to explode like this.
Well, actually, not really. I'm just trying to learn the system. Right now, we have a very complex system, and I'm just trying to learn that, go in practice, and doing things right. So whenever I get a chance, I can explode like this.
Well, Ricky, you know in your own mind that whatever Clay Rypien calls, you know how to run the play. You're giving me the Joe Gibbs speech. That's what you're giving me, Ricky. I know that.
Not actually, but it's very complex, and it's taking me time. It's taking time for me to get it really down. But I'm getting there, and the blocking, I have to get that down too.
Okay, I want to ask you two questions. First of all, I got to bring you down to earth. You would have been the Miller Lite player of the game, but with Art Monk surpassing Charlie Joyner, I'm sorry, Ricky, you don't get it. That means you got to come back and do this again against the Giants.
But I'm going to do my best. You know, whenever I get a chance to relieve Ernest or Gerald, I'm just trying to do the best I can.
Talk to me about that drive in the third quarter. You just, everything you touched turned to goal on that drive, and you wrap it up with a touchdown run. Well,
I'm just trying to, keep the slack up where Gerald left off and Ernest. And I heard that I had 68 carries, 68 yards, and I want to get like over 100 yards. Plus, I wasn't getting the first down. I want to get the necessary yards to get a first down to keep the drive alive. And they called a gut, and the line was just blocking tremendously. Ricky got a extremely good block, and I just bounced it outside and try to hold my own in there because I was tired.
Wait a minute. When you're going up the right sideline on that 65-yard touchdown run, there is no way you're going to let anybody catch it.
Hey, because if I did, everybody on my team would give me a lot of slack about that. I just try to power it in and get the Lord to glory.
How are you keeping your heart from pounding too hard?
Well, I just, take deep breath and I just relying on the Lord and everything. It was tough, though, but it was fun.
So did Coach Gibbs tell you had a good game yet?
I haven't spoken to Gibbs yet, and I'm sure everybody had a good game. It was just a team effort, and I'm glad they were 7-0.
Ricky, congratulations, and we'll talk to you later. Congratulations, man. I know you got to feel great.
Thank you. You should have the whole line right here.
All right, Ricky Ervins, number 32. He's the man who comes from USC. What a tremendous start for this fine young man. On Game 7, he manages to finally get an opportunity to play. Ernest Biner is out. We'll find out just how bad that injury is to Ernest Biner's right hand in just a couple of seconds. And also, of course, Gerald Riggs, he had a fumble. Joe Gibbs, when he's got those long situations, likes to use one of the backs a la Kelvin Bryant. Well, with Bryant gone, this makes a golden opportunity for a man by the name of Ricky Ervins. He responds statistically 13 carries, 133 yards. Art Monk, 7 catches, 106 yards, a touchdown. 2 touchdowns for Ricky Ervins, 2 touchdowns for Gerald Riggs. It all adds up to a 42-7. I've said 7 before, dummy. 42-17 Washington Redskins victory. Let's go to Coach Joe Gibbs. Coach, I see you already have a stern look on your face, but I'm sorry, Coach. We saw you with a big smile at the end of the game after that run by Ricky Ervins.
I was smiling towards the end of that game, I'll tell you. I think they're a good football team. I'd said earlier in the week they have a big back. We had a tough time tackling him. Heck of a quarterback, a scat back, good return man, and good defense. I think they got good people. I think they played hard. I think we played hard, and there was some big plays in there, and I'm just proud of our guys. They kept going and kept laying it out there for 7 straight weeks. That's hard to do.
Coach, how about Ernest Biner? We saw him on the sideline with his hand taped up. What do you know as far as the injury?
I think he's okay. It's bruised. I think we lost maybe Terry Hogue for the year.
Terry Hogue for the year?
Yeah, I think he broke his arm up here in the middle part of his arm. We got some injuries. We just got to hope that doesn't, add up for us now and we start having trouble there. But I think Ernest will be okay. It seems like his is just a real bad bruise. We didn't think he could hold a football and made it tough for us.
Coach, Gerald Riggs had a couple of touchdowns. He also had a costly turnover. It was tough to hear the fans be on him as hard as they were today.
Well, I think, that's going to happen. Things are going along pretty good, and you fumble one like that for a touchdown. I think it's just something that Gerald understands that. I said before, I think that I was going to get some criticism when I started playing Ricky Ervins because I figured that's what was going to happen. I think the only thing it cost us with Ricky, we just got to find a way to get him in there more because he's really done that kind of consistently. The only thing that slowed him up has been that heel in camp, and other than that, I think we got a big-time guy there that can make big plays for us. We got to find a way to try and get him in there.
Coach, I want to show you this touchdown in the third quarter where he went around the left side. He just outran everybody from Cleveland on his play.
Yeah, I think that was just a little 60 outside. We were hoping to get a first down there, and instead of getting a first down, you popped the thing all the way. So it was a heck of a play on his part, and our whole line really came off on that play, too. Our offensive line played extremely good. I'd say this is one of Rip's best games. I thought he had a heck of a game. Art, our defense, really, Brian keeps slamming at him back there, running back kicks on special teams, and doing a good job covering. Right now, we got everything going for ourselves. If you had a choice, you probably wouldn't take this break, but we're going to have to, so we'll just live with it and try and tee it up. We got big games coming when we come back. We got the Giants, and then we got Houston.
Coach, the touchdown pass to Art Monk. He surpasses Charlie Joyner. I know you don't like to get away on individual records, but he surpasses Joyner on a critical 14-yard touchdown. Here's the play, Joe, where he surpassed him. This was a big, big play.
I'll tell you, it's a heck of a pass. You could not coach this up for Rip to go to him on that pass. It was just a great job by Rip seeing him and a great job by Art. Our guys thought that Art had another touchdown on that other side over there. They reviewed it and said no, but we felt like he was in on that. Our guys did.
When he has 2 feet in the end zone, Coach, and he did have both feet in the end zone, but they said the ball didn't break the plane of the goal.
Maybe so.
Okay, I get the implication. Joe, you're 7-0. You never in training camp thought that this team would be near the middle of October, 7-0, a break, get ready for the Giants.
No, I don't think you can only dream about something like that. I don't think you envision, playing the way we have. Like I said, I think the credit goes to our players. I've been very blessed here with having great football players and some real leaders. 8 guys there that have been with me and our coaching staff the whole time. It's been our whole coaching staff, and our players have done a great job getting themselves ready, along with our owner making good decisions and our fans cheering us on. Our fans right now, there's a difference at RFK in these last few games at home here. They have lit this thing up. Last year it was kind of like we didn't have as much of that. Right now our fans are into it.
Coach, I thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We'll go through some individual plays. Enjoy the 2-week break.
Great, thanks.
All right, Coach Joe Gibbs of the Washington Redskins. The Redskins now 7-0. The only other team to still be undefeated is the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints this afternoon knock off the Philadelphia Eagles 13-6. The thing is, the Eagles once again had themselves no offense. Brad Gable at quarterback. Unfortunately, his poor young quarterback threw as many interceptions as he did completions. The Eagles just simply weren't able to move the ball offensively. All they got was 2 field goals. The New Orleans Saints, on the other hand, played a good defensive game. They got 1 touchdown when they needed it. They win the game 13-6. So the New Orleans Saints are the only other undefeated team in the NFL. They're 6-0. Let's quickly go back to RFK Stadium for a quick word from Mark Rypien. Rip, I would say, you know, you could have gotten star of the game honors, except that guy from USC stole it from you, and Art Monk stole it from you. With Monk surpassing Joyner, you don't get any credit for that perfect touchdown. He gets credit for the perfect reception.
Well, both deserve it too, George. Like I say, I'm just part of a piece of a puzzle here that really has worked through a lot of things, and I'm really excited about both. First and foremost, Art getting 751st reception, and the way he got it was kind of climactic too. And of course, Ricky Ervins coming in the game there and doing the things that he did. And I think it was just a fantastic effort by all of us.
Rip, that touchdown pass to Art Monk, we showed it to Joe Gibbs a minute ago. I'd like to show it to you. That touchdown pass had to be as perfect a touch as you could have put on a ball, and it did take a diving catch to haul that ball in, which is the only way you could throw it, obviously.
Well, it's on this play, you want to throw it one place, where he catches it or nobody catches it. And you know, we scored on the same play last week, so we thought it'd be covered up. But you know, he got a little bit of space in between him and the safety there, and I just laid it out there, and he made a tremendous play on it. And it's just the things he's been doing his whole career, and ever since I've been here, just an amazing effort on his part and the whole team's part, as far as that goes.
That catch, Rip, you jumped as high afterwards as anybody. Was it because he had gotten 751 or because you had taken a quick lead there?
I think probably more for the 751 than anything else. I wanted to see the 751st reception, and to see it in the end zone after a great series that we had there and a big drive for us was just kind of the climax of all of that.
Mark Rypien, I'll let you go real quick and easy if you just give me one honest answer, please.
Sure.
I want an honest answer now. I don't want to hear about we. I want you to talk to me about your performance in these first 7 games. You personally have to be ecstatic with what you've done this year.
Well, like I say, I think I kind of feel it, you know, as far as when I go out from week to week, and I sense, you know, the chance to grab something, take it, something important to all of us. And as myself is concerned, I just look at it as an opportunity to lead a good football team and play consistently and do the things that are asked of me. And hopefully that's what I can continue doing, because I felt these first 7 weeks were hopefully a brush on to what we can do in the next 9 weeks.
On the lighthearted side, I've got to know, Joe Gibbs has been trying to renege on that 7 days off for 7 games won. So what did he give you guys for time off?
He gave us 7 days off. Unfortunately, I got this thing I got to do tomorrow night at 5:45 that kind of wrecks my whole weekend. But you know, if it wasn't for that, I'd probably have a good 5 or 6 days off there.
Rip, I promise you there is nothing negative to show tomorrow. We'll enjoy, all right?
All right, George.
Congratulations. Mark Rypien, quarterback for the Washington Redskins. Redskins win 42-17. They do it in very impressive fashion. Stars of the game, you could have taken many, and don't overlook Wilbur Marshall with his 4th interception of the year. 2nd week in a row, he did it right at the end of the game. Sports Machine tonight, 11:30. Jimmy Connors advises Joe Montana, and you'll meet the toughest athlete of all time. A wrap-up of the NFL tonight, 11:30 on the Sports Machine. Have a good afternoon, everybody.